Three people that you must not take for granted this year. That's what I'm talking about. Three people that you must not take for granted if you want to make it big this year, if you want to be successful, if you want to eat well and be satisfied, if you want to make money, if you want to have good relationship with people, three set of people you must not take for granted. Well, let me introduce myself. I always say this. My name is Bruno Oakina. I'm the Chief Inspiration Officer of Bruno's Place Unisex Salon. I was a banker for many years before I became a barber and a hairstylist. As a hairstylist, I have raised many hairstylists, over 100. I'm the first person to open salon in the mall in this country. I opened the one in the Ikeja City Mall, the one in Jabi Lake Mall. People know me as a banker turned hairstylist. I've done this business, I've done it for over a decade. I started in 2013, that's over 12 years ago. But I always tell people I worked in the bank for so many years, nobody knew me. But as a banker and as a hairstylist and as a barber, I became a stylist. I became a celebrity. But today, I want to share you three people you must not joke with, three people you must not take for granted if you want to be successful in life, if you want to make money. Three people you must not take for granted. Three you must not take for granted if you want to be successful. If you really want to be successful, in life, in business, and in relationship, is God. Don't take God for granted. Don't take for granted. The Bible says it is God that gives us power, to make wealth. There is nothing that you can do without God. I always hear people say, let's leave God out of this thing. Let's leave God out of this thing. There is nothing that you can do. God is our foundation. Everything that you do in life, takes its root from God. Without God, you are nothing. Even if you are making money today and you don't acknowledge God, I can assure you that money will come with sorrow. And you will not be able to maintain it. And in the end, everything will disappear. They will fly away and you will find yourself begging. But if you want to sustain wealth, always acknowledge God. God makes it easy. I'm speaking from experience. It makes it easy. We live in a very confused environment. You need clarity. You need to be able to think well, and it's God that helps us. He removes the confusion from you. He makes you to think straight. He makes you to think deep. There are so many ventures that I did, it was God. I heard very well. When I was going, the first time when I was going to set up a salon, I had money to set up a roadside salon. I heard God telling me, don't. First of all, go and identify with somebody who is big in the industry. Anything that you want to do, always first of all, look for people that are doing well in the business. Go and associate with them. I heard very well, because I was not joking with God. He said, don't. And I thank God today, I identified with somebody who was doing well in the business. And because of that, a lot of people got to know me. You understand? There was even a time when, before COVID, I was spreading. I did a branch. I did one in Lagos. I did one in Abuja. I was thinking of going to Port Harcourt. From Port Harcourt, I'll go to Kaduna. I wanted to spread out. I heard again, God said, no, it's time for you to start doing horizontal investment. Don't do vertical investment. And I inquired, I go, what do you mean by horizontal investment? He said, start investing in other people's business. That's when I started investing in other people's business. There's one investment that I did when dollar was 400. Today dollar is about 1,500. I gain from the capital appreciation. At the same time, I also I'm also getting dividend on a monthly basis. And if I convert the money to naira, it's big money. God spoke to me. So I do not joke with God. If you take God very seriously, He will give you ideas. He will guide and direct you. I can't remember the last time I went to hospital. There are some people that are making money, they're always going to the hospital, they are wasting the money on drugs and all that. So if you acknowledge God, you know, He will keep you. He said sicknesses will not near you, infirmities will not near you. Let me tell you something. You know, there are some people, just because, you know, they commit sin, you know, they run away from God. Let me tell you, you cannot even deliver yourself from sin in the first place. You cannot. You need God to help you. It's God that will help you. It's God that will give you the power, you know, to stay away from negative things. It's God that will give you the power. Even when you are committing a sin, stay very close to God. Renew your mind. Let God help you. Because if you can do it by your own, then that is not faith. You understand? And it's not possible that you can do it on your own. So you must not take God for granted. God is one person you must not take for granted. I do not take God for granted. I'm not a perfect human being. But I tell you, God has helped me in so many ways. You know, He has saved my life. He has delivered me from so many things. There's some decision that would have cost me so much. You know, God will just do it such a way that I will not do the investment. So do not take God for granted in 2026. Take God seriously. Take your relationship with God seriously, because it's God that will give you power, you know, to make wealth, power to succeed in business, power to succeed in relationship, and power to succeed in your daily life. Then the next person you must not take for granted, this next person that you must take for granted is yourself. Don't take yourself for granted. You know, don't take yourself for granted. Learn to transform yourself. Learn to renew your mind. Learn to invest in yourself. You know, package yourself. Make yourself presentable. Make yourself valuable. Do it intentionally. You know, when I started my business, you know, hairstyling business, you will see me going to salon, wearing my suit, pocket square. I wear designer shirt, designer style. You know, I was not doing it the way every other person, the way they were doing it. And that was, I was able to make it big in the business. Do you understand? I invested so much in myself in this business. You know, that I invested in CCTV, I invested in software. You know, I made sure that I was running a salon business as if I was running a bank. Do you understand? I invested in myself, and before I even started the business, I was going to every places, all the big salons in Lagos. I was going to check them out. I wanted to know how they were doing stuff. Do you understand? Because I wanted to know everything. I didn't just focus on the skills. I also focused on the key success factor, the back end, yeah, of the business. You understand? I'll go to YouTube to go and study latest hairstyles. You know, I'll go and find out what is trending. Do you understand? I invested in myself. I was reading books. I was watching videos. You know, up to today, I still invest in myself. You know, I upgrade myself. You understand? You see, life is in stages. You move in stages. You move in stages. So you have to understand these stages so that you will know how to move with it. The first level is where you exchange your labor, you know, for time. You exchange your labor for time. From there, you move to the next level of you now being managing, supervising people. From there, you now move to the next stage where you begin to communicate and share your experiences. You understand? You know, then the first stage is where you begin to, you know, be creative, you know, then use the knowledge, the experience that you have gathered doing a particular thing. Begin to see how you can make it easy for other people, which is exactly what I'm doing now. Do you understand? There are some people, they are still on that level where they exchange their labor for time. You know, if you do not exchange your labor, you know, you will not get money. Do you understand? People are still on that level, but there's a level that is higher than that. So it's when you start developing yourself, you start investing in yourself, you start taking yourself seriously. You know, that is where you begin to know that there are levels that you have to climb. Do you understand? So don't take yourself serious. Don't take yourself for granted this year. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. You understand? Get to know a lot about investment. You see, as a hairstylist, I was not just focusing on the business alone. You know, I was also focusing on what? Investing in other people's businesses. That's why it was easy for me to retire on time. You know, I have people working with me and working for me, but I have so much time at my disposal. You know, that's why I have enough time to be sharing my experience. I can come online, you know, and share my experiences because I was investing in myself. If you want to run very fast, you know, invest in yourself. And don't wait for people to criticize you. Criticize yourself before people start criticizing you. Learn to tell yourself the truth. There are some people, they don't tell themselves the truth. They deceive themselves. And they expect they will go far. No way. Tell yourself the truth. Criticize yourself. Even when people criticize you, you know, sit down and check to see if what they are saying about you is true. You know, if it is true, you know, try as much as possible to change yourself. Invest in yourself. Don't take yourself for granted in 2026. But 3, don't take your customers for granted. Don't take people, you know, that patronizes you. Don't take them for granted. You know, don't take people generally for granted. You know, money does not work on the street. People go with money. When you are nice to people, when you are serving people, you know, they will patronize you. They will give money. The Bible talks about God will cause men to give into your bosom. He said he will cause men to give into your bosom. Then another particular scripture that I like. He said you are created for your neighbor's safety. If you are created for your neighbor's safety, your neighbor is also created for your safety. If you deny your neighbor of their safety, you are also denying yourself of your safety. So do not joke. Do not take people for granted. Do not take your neighbor for granted this year. Do you understand? Learn to be nice to people. Learn to be caring. You know, be human. You know, give back, you know, to your society, give back to people. And when you do these 3 things, you know, this year, 2026, you will prosper. You will make money without sorrow. You know, you will enjoy and you will retire early. Don't take God for granted. Don't take yourself for granted. And do not take customers. Do not take people for granted. I hope you have learned something today. If you have learned something, I want you to share it, and at the same time I want you to like me. I want you to follow me. You know, I just started this TikTok because I want to use it, you know, to share my experience with people. Most of the things that I share here, you know, there are things that I have done, I have touched. You should understand. These are my practical experiences, you know, from doing business, you know, living with people, you know, and at the same time you know, relating with people, you know, and all that. So I want you to take this thing very seriously. You can Google my name, you can check so that you can know about my authenticity, you know, so that you know these things that I'm sharing are not just things that I read in the books. You know, these are practical things that have produced results in my life. That's why I'm sharing this